Hello, my name is Oscar Hungsberg with the Tile Experts, and I got my brother here, Ewald Hungsberg. And today we're going to talk about a consultation we had earlier this week in McGrath Heights for a kitchen backsplash renovation. So, welcome.
Hey, Oscar. Haven't seen you in a while.
Yes, you haven't seen me in a long time. So, the first thing that we're going to touch base on this consultation is some of the things that they bring up is design and style. So coming into a kitchen renovation and seeing, dark cabinets, and then I think this house was 10, 15 years old, and they have a very busy stone, glass, and narrow type of mosaic with a dark grout, so you could really see it popping out. And so it's in the middle of the house, so not a lot of like natural light coming through. And they're like, yeah, we want to do a renovation, but we want to brighten up the space. So that's one of the first questions that come to mind. And so what would you say to that?
So the countertops, are they granite or?
They're like
laminate?
white with some gray veins. Yeah.
So it's like a marble?
Like, like a marble. You got it. Yeah.
I mean, we could always do like a subway or some hexagonal tile.
Yeah, exactly. So then they like the idea of a subway. They do want to minimize the grout lines. So then they had brought home a 12 by 24 tile. But then as soon as they put it, they were like, no, this is just not something I would put on a backsplash. So then I asked them a little bit more about it. I'm like, is there something in particular you want about the tile? And the biggest things was brighten it up. So we discussed things like glossy versus white. We discussed things like about color. So then,
So they don't want that much grout joints?
They don't want as many as they currently have, but they're not against having
Some,
correct.
and nothing that gives it too much attention.
Yeah, they kind of want it to disappear in the background a little.
Oh, okay.
But still have a little bit of character, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nothing like white subway with charcoal grout.
Exactly. They don't want that. Yeah. So they ended up being like, okay, so if we do this subway, can we do like a light gray grout that brings up the colors of the counter? So that kind of ties it all together. And then we did talk about, the practical part, which is mat will be something where if they're cooking, the splashes and anything like that will be worse on the mat and you'll see it right away and harder to clean. Where with glossy, easier to wipe, the reflection that does come through natural light does come, and so that helps brighten up the space.
Yeah, I mean, a subway style would be nice, and there is so many options. Now they have bevel subway tile where on the corners they beveled in.
That's right.
So it gives you like a different kind of effect.
Okay.
There is, the subway tile now that is like wavy and it has some texture into it,
but still glossy. Yeah,
that's
that would
really
be a good
popular
one too.
right now.
This is true.
Yeah.
Okay, I think the texture one would have been the better choice because they did not want an inlay, but they wanted something with not just subway, but a little bit of character in the subway. That could be the solution.
So when we went to the estimate, they asked you, right? How plain is too plain? How do you not make it boring?
Correct. Yeah. So then to that, I was thinking, subway is not just limited to a rectangular type tile. So whether they go with a chevron or they go with like a picket subway, that could add more to it than just plain boring. Or like you said before, playing with the grout lines.
Oh, actually, and we just did a shower now too, and they actually installed it vertically instead of horizontal. So I guess you could always use subway tile and stack it up.
That's right. Yeah. We've done a few of those with 1x8, right?
Yeah.
They look very nice. It's like a artisanal kind of tile.
Yeah. And it was actually pink.
Oh, it was pink?
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, there you go. If you want a pink backsplash, we can do it.
Any color.
Okay. So another question that we received was, how do we avoid grout that stains and looks dirty after a few years? And so that was one of the things that she asked me while we were in the in-person consultation. So then, did you want to take this one?
I mean, they probably asked you if we should seal the grout or how often you should seal that.
Yeah, because with the current backsplash that they have, there's so many grout lines, and one of the type of tiles that is there is actual natural stone, they see often it being dirty and hard to clean and almost unable to clean.
And it's easy to damage natural stone, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So one of the things I did say is don't do cement tile because that one is extra porous. We could still apply a sealer, but we found that it's a challenging tile to work with in a kitchen backsplash.
Oh yeah, we did a kitchen splash in Highlands with cement tile, and we ran into that issue, correct?
Yeah, that's right. In Highlands, there's a lot of older homes that they wanted to kind of bring in some of that character with the cement tile. And yeah, we did accomplish that, but they had some challenges with the stain.
Yeah.
So we had to work with a sealer and the manufacturer of the tile.
Which we fixed the problem.
Yeah. La otra pregunta que nos hicieron en la cita para la renovación de la cocina de uno de nuestros clientes fue cómo podemos elegir la cerámica y cuál es el proceso. Entonces, una de las cositas que yo siempre menciono es, asegúrate de tomar fotos de tu tope para que sepas cómo es, de qué color, si es oscuro o es
Claro.
Claro, sí. Y también un poquitico más lejos para que veas el piso y así de una manera puedas como que darle la visión entera a nuestros compañeros de
la tienda.
De la tienda, sí. Entonces, ¿tienes algo que adherir?
Sí. Cuando ellos vean la foto, ahí pueden ver el tipo de tope que tienen y pueden poner en conjunto una cerámica que vaya a ponerlo en una buena foto y se pueda ver todo.
Sí, como mucho, que la foto en grande y puedas tener como que la visión entera. Yeah.
Sí, para que tenga la visión entera. Eso es lo que estaba tratando de decir.
Ok, muy bien. La otra pregunta es que nos preguntan los clientes es, ¿tenemos que comprar cerámica nosotros o lo compramos con ustedes? Nosotros siempre recomendamos que compren la cerámica por medio de una compañía. Tenemos muchos proveedores que tienen cerámica de alta calidad y que se puede trabajar muy bien. Y con eso también ponemos nuestra garantía de instalación, que es de por vida mientras son dueños de la casa. Sí, entonces es un punto muy bueno que le damos a nuestros clientes y les gusta mucho. Entonces, tenemos muchos tipos de compañías que estamos en conjunto. ¿Cuáles son las compañías?
Sí, las tiendas que les recomendamos son Tile and Stone Source, Dal Tile, Centura Tile, Ames Tile and Stone. Y lo bueno de estas tiendas es que ahí tienen un showroom y pueden ver muchos estilos, colores, texturas. Y estas personas que están ahí vendiendo la cerámica pueden recomendarles que se va a ver bien. En vez de ir a una tienda grande donde solamente ves la cerámica y nadie te recomienda nada, por ejemplo, solo Home Depot o Lowe's, tú vas para allá y no tienes a alguien que te pueda dar esas recomendaciones. Sí, pero en estas tiendas que nosotros trabajamos con ellos, esas personas, su trabajo es recomendar y manejarte al correcto camino.
Sí, y encima de eso también tenemos a Julian Tile y también hemos trabajado con Tile Town ahí en el oeste y también en el sur. Y sí, tenemos muchas compañías que trabajamos en conjunto, no solamente esas, pero esa es una de las muchas que hablamos a menudo todos los días. Sí,
sí, es como una familia de tiendas que trabajan con nosotros.
Con los tile experts.
Sí.
So another set of questions that come to mind when we're in this in-person consultation, the client is like, hey, this is an exterior wall. So when we remove the old tile, the drywall is going to come apart. So, they're concerned about this. So some of the things that we say to them to put them at peace.
When we rip out the drywall, sometimes it damages the poly that is sealing their insulation. So homeowners do get worried that, are you going to cover this again? Because now you have a cut into the poly. So we always make sure to cover those and put it back together before putting on the new tile.
Yeah. Yeah, so we do seal it properly with, your duct tape.
That's right. Yeah, tuck tape.
Tuck tape?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at that time, is the best time to think if you want to switch your hood fan to a microwave with a hood fan, or if you want to do the opposite. But at that moment, it's the right moment in case you do have to bring your tile higher or leave it without the space for them to just install it.
Exactly. And so that brings me to this question. So we come in and we see that we have a hood wrench, and they're like, so do I remove it before you arrive? Yes, we can work with that if you want to. If you want us to remove it, we certainly can remove prior to the demo and the prep and all the stuff, and we can put it back in when we're done, grouted and all wrapped up. We always protect your countertops and the area so that there's never scratches after we're done or anything like that.
Yeah, especially when we come in, usually the countertops are just put on, so we need to make sure that we protect that so that, you know, we care about your house.
Yeah.
We care about your project.
Another question we get asked sometimes is, should I just do the back wall? Should I do the returns? And so, you know, I'm more in the in-person consultations where it was more on the in day-to-day kind of work. But yeah, sometimes you do want the return just to tie it all together and go to the next area. But sometimes it's just like the accent wall is the statement with the stove, and the return wall looks nice and clean so it doesn't drag from the attention that it needs. So yeah, it's really a matter of design choice.
Decision.
Yeah.
Same with behind the stove, right? Sometimes the client has a stove with the panel going up and the knobs in there, but
the controller and the components are at the front of the stove or the back.
So I mean, maybe at that moment they have one with the backing, but later on they switch it to something that is flat and with the knobs on the front. So at this moment is the best time to put maybe a couple extra rows under the level of the countertop so that you don't see those holes once you change your stove to something flat.
That's right.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then another question is, can you work around or remove old telephone jacks, extra outlets, or clean up the look? So we can't remove outlets. That's not up to code.
Yeah.
But the telephone jacks, whenever they are already cut off and dead, basically, we are able to cover it up and make a cleaner look.
Yeah, and nowadays a lot of people are asking for that because not many people have landlines
They
at
don't
home.
even use a landline. Yeah.
So those are going away in a lot of our installs.
That's right. How long does a typical backsplash replacement take, start to finish? What's the sequence? Demo, prep, install, grout, caulking. How long after choosing the tile before the job can actually start? Lead times. Will our kitchen be usable during project, or is the stove out of commission? Do you cut tile inside garage or outside? What do we do about dusting cleanup?
So, I mean, I would say the process, depending on the size of the kitchen. I mean, Lydia has been done a project in one day if it's just doing the install plus grout. When it comes to doing the demo plus the install and grout, it becomes more like maybe 2-3 days.
2.5, 3 days. Yeah.
So, I mean, once we are done for the day, if the stove is close to place, you could always still use it. It's not a big problem.
People do like to take a break from the stove and take advantage of that and go eat out the one day.
Take a break from cooking.
Yeah.
It's more
so
like
they
a vacation.
end up taking it like a little staycation. Yeah.
Yeah. What else was in the question?
Cutting and cleaning and dust. Yeah, concerns.
Yeah, every day, once we're in the job, we want to, be there, but also let you know that we care about your home and you being in the house while we're working. So it's not like a new build where you can come in and if you leave a little bit of a mess there, nobody's going to judge you on it. But if you're in someone's home and they are coming after you leave, they come in and they see a mess. I mean, I'm sure you say that to your own kid. Hey, clean up your mess.
That's right.
So
That's
we
why, the tile experts, we care.
That's right.
Yeah, we want to make sure that when they go back into their home midway through the project, everything's tidy. It's like we never even were there.
That's right.
Okay. So some of the questions are, what design choices increase labor cost? Small mosaics, patterns like herringbone, chevron, or lots of cutting, or bigger format, which will have one piece with multiple cuts. Is larger tile always cheaper on labor, or are there sizes that actually make it harder? Does pattern layout, straight lay versus herringbone change the price significantly? Are there hidden costs homeowners forget to ask about? Repairing drywall, moving electrical, phone lines, materials like premium grout and sealers. Some of those things. Do you want to tackle one of them?
If it's like a 12 by 24, bigger pieces, but not 24 by 48. 12 by 24 would be easier because you have two pieces and you're working around those. But if it's a 24 by 48, now it's a heavier tile. You have to make sure you properly measure because, again, it's a bigger piece. If you break this piece, it's a lot of money that you're wasting. So that's one of the things that could make 24 by 48 more expensive. But if it's subway, it is not as hard as long as it's stacked or 50-50 bricklay. But if it becomes a herringbone pattern, then there is a lot more cuts than any other layout. And then chevron, it does take a lot of time as well because, in the corners, you want to be able to connect the pieces and it's just a different angle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of things to think about when it comes to doing tile in different angles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then that's where the price goes. It's like your baseline is 13 by 13, 12 by 24. And then whether you go small format or large format, labor and amount of cuts and amount of detail just goes up. Yeah. So then, that's kind of how you could see pricing and that type of goal. Yeah. How do we choose something that won't feel dated in 5 to 10 years? What are the most common regrets people have with Backsplash's choices? If we might update other parts of the kitchen later, how should that influence our Backsplash choice now? One thing that came to mind right away when they asked me, how do we choose something that won't feel outdated right away or in 5 to 10 years, it brought me to the 2007 to 2010 new builds where they were doing the subway with an accent strip, whether it's glass or some sort of change of color, and how every time you walk into a home now, you know that it was built back in that time, and that is not something that it's lasting and it keeps up to date. So when we see these things and we come into these homes, we know that you don't want to strip if you don't want it to feel outdated right away. We did do a lot of those homes, and we have been in new jobs where they're like, you know what, I'm just tired of it. I just want something more simple. And like you said, that will not go out of date, right? Yeah. And with the whole out of date, it's basically, it all comes back to subway. You'll see it 100, 200 years ago. You'll see it today. You'll see it in 100 years from now. And it always is clean. It's elegant. It's timeless. It's just a nice... It's always going to be there. It's always going to be there. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for having us. Again, Oscar Hungsberg and Ewald Hungsberg with the Tile Experts here in Edmonton. Your tile installation specialists that can take care of your kitchen backsplash, whether it's in McGrath Heights, Highlands, or Glenora. We've done older homes. We've done the newer homes. We're here to serve you. Thank you. Make you happy.